Hi, I'm Jane from Beyond the Empty Nest. Welcome to this live video. So before we start, let's do our shoulder shrugging. Bring your shoulders up to your ears. Breathe in and breathe out. Just feel like you're releasing any tension, anything you've built up over the day, the week, the month, however long. Breathing in, bring your shoulders up. I'm looking at my camera and it's the wrong way around. And breathing out. Good. And I invite you to listen today about, we're going to be talking about confidence or lack of confidence, because this is something that's come up in the group quite a bit in various ways. Listen with your heart and listen to what it is that you need to hear today. Okay, so there might be some little piece for you that really is what you need to hear. And so lack of confidence is huge. It's huge. I know, I've been there. I have had chronic, in the past, low self-esteem. And it's huge. It's one of the biggest things I think that can hold you back in life. And I feel like for children, it's one of the biggest things. If children can learn to be confident, I think that's one of the biggest things that we can do for our children, because lack of confidence completely holds you back. And the menopause is a time when traditionally we can really have a bit of a crisis of confidence. And feel free to watch my video on the menopause when I go into that a little bit in more depth. But basically, the menopause is a time when our brains are being completely rewired. Our hormones, obviously, are changing. And it's a time when, hi Karen, it's a time of the menopause when we want to address our issues. It's an opportunity to address our issues, but we can feel really overwhelmed. And depending on circumstances that are happening in our lives, we feel overwhelmed, and that can cause that crisis of confidence. We don't know who we are anymore. We feel like the rug's being pulled from under our feet, and we feel insecure, and we feel fearful, and we feel that we lose our confidence in ourselves. And what does that mean for you? You know, living with that lack of confidence. How does it play out in your life? Because it affects every aspect, doesn't it? It's like you don't trust your own judgment. You second guess yourself. You doubt your abilities. You underestimate your abilities. You don't feel capable doing things. You know, even though you are, it's like you don't think you are. You compare yourself to others. That's a big one, isn't it? That was something that I did. Comparing yourself to others and always thinking that others are better or that you fall short. Worrying about what people's response will be, needing approval, worrying about what other people are going to think of you, you know, and being prone to believing other people's opinions and judgments over your own on all sorts of things, but particularly about you. So you're really vulnerable to other people and their opinions, you know, and we're not rational. This isn't a rational thing. And I've noticed that when I was feeling like this, I would magnify the negatives. So if I happened to do something wrong or somebody made a little comment, I'd magnify that as absolute proof that I was worthless, absolute proof that I really was not good enough and had very low self-esteem. And then I would minimize the positives. So if somebody said to me, but yes, but look at this, you've done this and you've done that, I'd go, yes, but, yes, but. And I would minimize those positives to keep myself stuck in that low self-esteem. And, you know, when I was in that state, I did think that everybody was better than me. I was convinced. For me, it was a very heavy feeling in my chest, a sinking feeling. You know, you say you get that sinking feeling. It was a sinking feeling in my chest of worthlessness, and that everybody else was better than me, absolutely without any doubt. And if anybody criticized me, I was crushed. I was crushed because I was ruled by fear. And it's an irrational fear, but it was a fear of being found out, of not being good enough, or of being a fraud somehow. So that even though I was managing to keep things together, it's kind of like, yes, but I'm a fraud, I'm not good enough, you know, somebody might find out one day and I'll be exposed, and that'll be really painful. People will realize that what I've known all along is that I'm not good enough. And obviously that's not true, but that's what you think. That's the kind of thinking that you have. And it's kind of like, you know, for me, I was holding my life together. I was just about on a tightrope of holding it together, but I was at the mercy of anything anybody said to me. And that's not good, because if you get your self-worth, and this is something that I think was one of the posts in the group, if you get your self-worth from other people, or from doing things for other people, or the things that we do, getting approval, then we can't control that. We've got no control over that whatsoever. We're at their mercy, and that's not a good place to be. Whereas if you get your self-worth from inside, you've always got that, and you've got that control, and that's what it's about. So these messages that we have, this message that we've got from somewhere, and you might want to ask yourself, where have you got this message from that you're not good enough, that you can't do it? Maybe it's from being a child. Maybe you were given that message directly or indirectly. Some people perhaps have been in a relationship where they've been told time and time again that they are not good enough, where everything they've done has been criticized, and you start to believe it. You start to believe that. And so think about it. What is your self-talk? What are you telling yourself? And how is that affecting how you feel about you? Because once you can see your self-talk and stand back from it, you start to get a bit of perspective, and you can kind of say, you know what, maybe that isn't true. And I know people who, the ego, the self-talk part of our brain that tells us these things that we're not good enough, they've named that part of their brain. They've actually given it a name and said, you know what, I'm not listening to you, whatever that name might be. And so ask yourself, what is your self-talk? Where does that come from? Stand back and then know that it's not you. It is not who you are. It isn't who you are. You are worthy. You are worthy. For me, that was one of the most powerful things, that powerful message that I got, that I am worthy no matter what. No matter what you do, no matter what your job or your relationship or anything in that external world, because it's not about the external world, it's about what's in here. And we all have that spark within us of, call it what you like, divine love, wisdom, universe, cosmos. Thank you, Vanessa. We all have that within us, and we are all worthy. You are worthy, but you need to believe that. You need to believe that. And, you know, that programming that we have, it runs deep. It runs deep. And sometimes in order to change that programming and not listen to that self-talk, and to realize who we are, who we really are, and that we are worthy, takes a strategy. It takes working holistically with all aspects of ourselves, because a lot of it is kind of subconscious. As I said earlier in the video, you know, we can be told all sorts of things. People can say to you, look at this, look at that, look at that. And you can say, yes, but I know I'm not good enough, no matter what you say I've done, because it's not a rational thing. So we kind of need to go deep. We need to go deep to release that programming. And we need a strategy. And that is what I offer. So if that's something that you're interested in, if you are, you know, if you've had enough of being ruled by fear, of living on that edge of worrying what people think, of needing approval, of getting your self-worth from the external world, if you've had enough of that and you want to really know your worthiness, then message me, get in contact with me, and I can get you those results. I can get you the results I've got my clients. So that's all I want to say today. Thank you, Karen and Vanessa, for joining me. Vanessa, please feel free to go back and watch this video in the group if you missed the beginning. But please get the message, you are worthy. Even though you might not believe it, it is true. And thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being in this group. It's an honor to connect with you. Wishing you love and light. Thank you.